Cars.com Auto Review.
Hi, I'm Dave Thomas with Cars.com, and this is a 2012 Chevy Tahoe. You may be wondering why you're going to spend the next 3 minutes of your online viewing time with what is essentially a gas-hogging SUV, especially with gas prices on the rise again, especially with cheaper, more efficient options out there versus the Tahoe. But more people bought one of these last month than all the hybrids from Honda, twice as many. But there's really only one good reason to buy one of these over a comparable crossover. It can tow a bigger boat. It can also tow a bigger one of these, or even one of these, all while keeping more than a couple of these happy and comfortable along the way. So how much trailer can a Tahoe tow? Say that 3 times fast. Well, with 2-wheel drive, it can tow 8,500 pounds. With 4-wheel drive, like the LTZ model we have here, 8,200 pounds. Now, if you go to a crossover, like Chevy's own Traverse, it can only tow 5,200 pounds. And the reason this can tow so much more is because of the 5.3-liter V8 under the hood. Unfortunately, that means mileage isn't the Tahoe's strong point. It gets 15 miles per gallon city, 21 highway, and driving around the suburbs and on a few commutes to work over the past week, the best mileage I've seen in optimal spring driving weather has been about 13 miles per gallon. You're going to be able to digest that huge gas bill a little bit better because the Tahoe is relatively huge inside. That's because there's a lot of extra height here versus a lot of crossovers on the market. It's also because the front and second row seats are just gigantic. And a lot of car shoppers I talk to, they really want a pass-through from the second row to the third row so they can get up and get back there easily. You will lose cargo room, especially against the Traverse, which is one of the largest in the crossover class. With the Tahoe's third row in place, there's just 16.9 cubic feet of cargo space versus the Traverse's 24.4. Move the Tahoe seats forward, and there's 60.3 versus 68.8 cubic feet. Take them out, and you have 108.9 cubic feet versus 116.4 in the Traverse. Plus, you never want to take the Tahoe seats out. With a crossover like the Traverse, the third row folds easily into the floor. By auto industry standards, the Tahoe is ancient. It hasn't been redesigned in over 6 years, but it's aging pretty well. And while the gauges might look a little outdated, things like the navigation system are at least on par with the competition. And it does have options like the DVD system in the back. And that's good because if you're traveling for a couple of hours with the kids in the back towing a nice boat, you might need a couple of these. And if you don't get that option, bring along a couple of these. So that's it. There are actually things to like about a traditional SUV like the Tahoe, but if you're not one of the towing crowd, you better look elsewhere.
For more car-related news, go to Cars.com or our blog, KickingTires.net.